Hey guys, what's going on? Breastman here. Happy first day back for some of you guys, or at least the first week of us going back into school, which is awesome. I wanted to wait until the end of the first day to kind of see how things went, and see kind of what questions or things popped up throughout the day, just to make sure that I could include in this video, so I didn't have to record 3 or 4 follow-up videos. So I'm going to go over kind of the assignments for the week that I assigned, that we're going to be working on. I'm going to cover the project really quickly, just touch on what it is. And then essentially from there, I'm going to answer just a couple of things, some issues or questions people have been kind of confused on, because it has not been super clear, with all the stuff, that we are doing and the way that school is being held and stuff like that. So today was obviously the A group. So I saw some of you guys I'll see on Thursday, and some of you guys are virtual the entire time. Perfectly fine. And it's going to be the same amount of work regardless. Just the thing is, one of the questions that came up is that if you are virtual only, or if you are A group, you don't need to log in. There's no live class. I know that link is right there, but that link is not going to work. It's not going to be active, unless it is either Wednesday. Wednesday is the only time that link will be active, and I'll show you guys the schedule for that in just a minute. So if you're virtual, you don't have live class. So except with the exception of Wednesday. Wednesday is your live class opportunities when we sit down and kind of go over the assignments. I answer some questions, help you guys out. And so I just want you guys to keep that in mind, is that if you're virtual only, you don't have live class, so you don't have to follow the rest of the schedule besides the Wednesday schedule. Although I would recommend that you do the assignments for the same days that the rest of us do them, just because otherwise you may get overwhelmed if you try to do it all on Wednesday. Also, that said, if you're in B group, obviously you didn't have virtual class today. So like if you're first period B group, you weren't logging in at 7:40. You don't need to worry about that. And obviously you don't need to worry about going to school until Thursday. So you got some time to fix your sleep schedule, things like that. But anyway, so I'm going to go over some stuff. I just want to try to make that clear. Really quickly, here's the schedule. I sent this out to you guys on Classroom last Friday, I believe. But basically what this is, it's the Monday. So here's Group A, which is if your last name starts with an A through K, you're a part of Group A. And so that's the schedule. So you have your odd classes one day, your even classes the second day, besides fifth periods every single day, because that's lunch. And so there's your schedule for Group A. So if you're part of Group A, that's when you go to school. So that's when you need to get up at 7:40. If you're a part of B group on these days, you log in at your convenience and you do your assignments then. If you're a part of B group on these days, you would go to school, obviously. And then if you're A group, you don't need to go to a live class. You don't have to start doing your work at 7:40. And then if you're virtual, Wednesday, we will have class at 9 o'clock to 9:30. Okay, so Wednesday is virtual day. It's for students primarily that are virtual. Although if you're in my in-person class and you still need help, you can jump in between 9 and 9:30. That is specific for just first period, or if you're in sixth period, it's 12:35 to 1:05. Seventh period, 1:10 to 1:40. I do have generic office hours after that, but I recommend you guys just try to jump in during that class period if you can, get any extra help that you need. Now, the way attendance is going to work, because I had some questions on this, attendance, if you show up to school, obviously you're marked present. But if you're not in school that day, as long as you're participating in activities, you're completing assignments, you will get marked as present for that week, as long as you are participating that week on those assignments. And so I just want to make that clear, that your active participation in classroom, and it doesn't have to be every day, it can be 2 days out of the week, virtually will get you credit for the week. So it's similar to what it was with NTI, but obviously it's a little bit different with some people being in class and stuff. Anyways, so what we did today and what we'll do for sixth period, we're going to do this tomorrow. And then for B group, we will do this again on Thursday, Friday. So there is an Edpuzzle assignment. Some people have already done it, which is awesome. Because of all the things that happened today in first period, we went ahead and watched the Edpuzzle in class. Students brought their Chromebooks, which was awesome. Thank you guys for remembering your Chromebooks. Those coming in the next couple of days, try to remember your Chromebook. But then after that, we were going to watch, we started in my 7th period, this Before the Flood video. What this is if you click on the Google Doc, all it is there is a movie. You click on this right here. It is called Before the Flood. It's got Leonardo DiCaprio in it. And it has a lot of really good information about climate change. And it's just a really good introduction into climate change as a whole. This is very broad, whereas the Ed Puzzle is a little bit more narrow, a little bit more focused, and is a little bit more detailed on some of the things. But this does a really good look at the impact how it's gonna affect us, how it affects cities, and the planet as a whole, and how it's going to affect humans and cause issues for a while with climate change. It's a 2016 documentary, so it's a little bit dated, but a lot of the stuff that they talk about actually has come to fruition, and it's been shown to be true and occur. In present day, we've had more natural disasters, we've had more droughts, forest fires, things like that. So again, that's part of this movie. You watch it, answer the questions, and again, the movie's kind of long. I think it's like a little bit over an hour. The Ed Puzzle is about 25 minutes. It's not meant to be done and just get it all done at one point. I mean, if you want to, you can, but you're gonna be sitting in front of the computer for quite a while. So maybe do a little bit on Monday, do a little bit on Tuesday, break it up and segment it, and then it won't be so bad. Because I know some people were freaking out today, thinking like, "Oh, I got to do all this today." No, it's not possible. So, then something else we did was we started an endangered species project. And so, if you were in class, you went ahead and reserved your endangered species. I'm going to go over what this is real quick, but when you get done watching this, I would go sign up for whatever animal that you are interested in that is endangered, and we're going to do a mini project on them throughout the semester. So I'm going to kind of lay down the schedule for the semester and stuff like that. All right, so this endangered species project. So what we did was we were like, okay, here's a whole bunch of endangered species. Now, if the species that you're interested in, if they are endangered and they're not on this list, you're more than welcome to do it. Add it to the list at the very bottom, and then just let me know. Like, say, hey, in the private comment, like, this is the species that I want, and they are endangered, but they're not on the list. Whatever you choose and whatever you put on that sheet, as a private comment, I want you guys to type on the bottom, this is the animal I chose, or this is my endangered species. Here is the calendar for pretty much the rest of the year. What we're going to do is every week we're going to have some questions or a part of the project to work on. And then on top of that, we're going to have some sort of environmental topic. So that environmental topic this week is just intro to climate change. What are greenhouse gases? And then going over this, but then also we are going to we have some research questions we're going to get started now. We didn't do that today. I'm going to introduce it on Thursday, but I'm also going to go ahead and post that assignment so that way you guys can get started. And again, you guys can work on this early, or you can wait until in-person class to work on it a little bit. It's up to you guys. But basically, I'm going to give you guys work with like week-long chunks. The due dates will be Friday for these assignments. And it's a really good idea to get those done, because if you don't and you don't keep up with it, this project is going to get really overwhelming really quickly. So I've broken it down and chunked it to where it's not so overwhelming that you guys can get it done without feeling like, you're way behind and you're not going to be able to get this completed and you're not going to pass. Because I want you guys to pass. I want you guys to do well. This project is a good part of your grade. It's going to be multiple standards. And so therefore it's really important you guys do well on this. So anyway, this week, climate change, greenhouse gases, we're also going to be going over, and you guys are going to be doing research questions 1 and 2. On next week, April the 12th, there's research questions 3 and 4 that we're going to work on. We're also going to look at acids, bases, pH, which is the way that you measure how acidic or basic something is. And we're going to look at ocean acidification, what that is, how that occurs, and what impacts it has. After that, the following week, we're going to finish up our research questions. There's only 6 total. So it'll take us about 3 weeks to do all 6 research questions. If you want to do them early, that's fine. If you want to do them along with us, that's fine too. They will be attached in this PowerPoint, but I'm going to give you guys an individual Google Doc for each group of questions for you guys to turn in weekly. So that way you guys can kind of keep track of what's due when. But anyways, so after we're done with the research questions, the week after that is a photo collage. So it's a photo collage of your endangered species, different things about it, like its ecosystem, what it eats, and just it existing essentially. After we're done with the photo collage, we're going to start working on the book. And so you guys are going to essentially write a book. What I mean by that is it's going to be a 10 to 20 page book. It's going to be kind of a children's book of teaching us about the animal, but then also how can we as humans, what can we do to help protect this species? How can we save this species? How can I here in Kentucky help dolphins that are halfway across the world or whatever? Maybe it's by buying certain products differently. Maybe certain types of tuna are damaging the dolphin population, whatever it is. But again, you're going to write that book. You're going to include images in that book. So you're not writing just like long, lengthy, full multi-paragraph pages. It's going to be, here's an image, and then here's some information about it. And it's going to have a title page, an ending page. And when we get to that, I'll help you guys break it down. It's not that bad. I know it sounds like a lot right now, but it's not too bad. And we're going to spend about a week and a half on it. So just be prepared for that. But that's all the way May 3rd. So it's a ways away. I just want to give you guys a heads up on that. And then the week of May the 10th, we're going to finish the book. And then I have some just generic project work time as well that week. So if you need more time to work on the book, you work on the book. And then the week after that, you're going to write a poem, or a song about your endangered species. Once you get all that done, you get it turned in. This actually, May the 17th, is not the last week of school. We have an extra week after this. But theoretically, you could be done with this class by the end of the week of May 17th. That final week afterwards is going to be for recovery, for any kind of intervention. Like say you failed a standard, you can make that standard up, things like that. So I really want to focus on that the last week and get this project done, a week in advance. That way you guys are done. You don't have to worry about it. Also, as of right now, unless they say we have to have a final, there is not going to be a final. This project will be your final. Now, if they come and say, hey, we want you guys to have a final exam, we'll make a final exam, but I'll let you guys know more about that later if they tell us we have to do that. So anyways, there's the schedule. You guys can always hit pause at any time, rewind or whatever to look at that in more detail. Moving on, so Save the Species, this is our project. So hundreds of animals around the world are struggling to survive in their natural habitat. And luckily, there are a lot of organizations on a mission to help save these animals. All right. Efforts of these organizations can have a positive impact, but there's other ways that we can help as well. One of those ways is to educate younger generations, so that way they can build earth-friendly habits. Like my daughter and I bought trash grabbers. We're going to start cleaning up trash in our neighborhoods to kind of help out with our local ecosystem. Not that it may not help animals globally, but it will prevent that trash from eventually getting in the oceans. And then it can spread and cause major impacts on the ocean life. So that's one way that we are doing it. But again, education is the most important thing. People sometimes don't know or understand, one, how some of these species are endangered, but what's causing it and what they can do to help stop it. So basically over the next few weeks, you're going to become an expert on one species. You're going to research its life, its habitat, its diet, and why. Develop a plan for how you can help raise awareness through a book, a song, or a rap or a poem or whatever. And then we're basically going to help educate the next generation. We'll put this on a website for the world to see, and then maybe we can raise awareness in some way. So I'm not going to go over this checklist right now. There's on this, and I'm going to post this on Classroom. There are multiple rubrics. So you can look at those later. The Botanimal is going to be an optional extra credit assignment. There's also going to be an opportunity for you guys to either make like a TikTok or a Flipgrid video for extra credit as well that is involved with your endangered species. It won't be required, but it will be extra credit if you guys choose to do that. So again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that right now. And then again, you're going to jump into these questions. So the ones we're going to focus on this week is question 1. How are the physical features of your species adapted to the environment where it lives? So again, I want you guys to look at and get detailed answers. The more detail you get, the better. So don't just go to Google, type it in, and then pull whatever the exact, like what pops up is probably going to be really good information, but it has that link down below. Click that link. Encyclopedia like Britannica and stuff is going to be really good resources. There's a lot of good resources out there like National Geographic, things like that. So again, try those resources. But if you type it into Google and something pops up that seems really good, click on the source, look at it. Does it seem legitimate, or does it seem like some dude in his mom's basement just typed it up out of nowhere just because they were angry about something? Okay. All right. Look at the type of article that you're looking at. If it's Wikipedia, use the sources to find legitimate sources, because Wikipedia is still technically not a legitimate source. And then give detailed information. So these will be on a Google Doc along with question number 2. So you guys will look at those, you'll do it, and you'll research it once you pick your endangered species. Here I almost said it. And, hopefully, if you guys have questions, add it as a comment to this video or a private comment to the assignment, so that way other people can't see. But hopefully that kind of clarifies some stuff. Again, if you're on NTI, I will see you during our Wednesday session. So if you're virtual, I'll see you Wednesday. If you're not virtual, I either saw you today, I'll see you tomorrow, or I'll see you Thursday, Friday. And what it's going to be is, again, all these assignments they'll be due on Friday. You'll have time to do some during class when you're in class in person, and then you'll have time to do some on your own the next couple of days. And it doesn't have to be within that time window of, say, if you were in my first period this morning, you don't have to log in at 7:40 on Thursday to finish your assignments. You can do it at 10 o'clock in the morning if you really want to, as long as you fit the rest of it in your day. So that's it. That's all I've got for you guys. I know this was kind of a lengthier video. I promise the next couple of videos, I'm going to produce these at least once a week, so that way you guys get an idea of what we went over in class. But that was it in a nutshell. And hopefully I was clear enough for you guys to understand. If you guys have questions, please do not hesitate. Put a private comment on Google Classroom. I will try to get back with you guys as soon as possible, so that way you guys can get better information. So that way I can help clarify some stuff. But otherwise, you guys have a great night. Have a good day tomorrow. If I see you guys tomorrow, awesome. If not, I'll see you guys Thursday, Friday, next week, whenever, Wednesday. So guys, stay safe, stay careful out there. And I'll see y'all soon.